All right, let's get to the go ahead and get to the second video. Still a moving video, obviously, but I'm just gonna let you know it's gonna hit you.
Hi, everyone. First of all, thank you for all the kind words, support, and love that everyone has offered and given. These past few weeks have been the most difficult I have ever experienced, and it is with great sadness that I tell you all that my beautiful and cat crazy wife has passed. I've had to cut this short due to character limits, sorry to all. But she did leave all of you a note, Reddit. I've copied everything verbatim below. She truly loved everyone and was smiling so much after her first post. I'll take my leave here. Much love. Reddit, if you're reading this, I am gone. Pretty crazy to be talking to someone who has passed away, eh? It feels a bit strange to be writing this. If this feels a bit disconnected, I'm sorry. I have to take frequent breaks as I get tired pretty quickly now. My husband offered to write these words, such a sweet ham, I know. Be nice to him, okay? But I wanted my last words to be written by me. Long story short, we talked to my parents. A lot of people asked about why my husband wasn't planning the funeral, and my parents were taking control. Honestly, my parents didn't take the news of my passing well, and I suppose their closure was to try and take control of what they could. I'm not angry at them for it, I understand. They had already prepaid a large portion of the service, and to put it plain and simple, it was a tough hand they were dealt. So we talked to them, I laid it all out for them, and somehow we reached a compromise. Lots of tears, lots of hugs too, and surprisingly, a lot of laughs. They admitted that they had been losing their faith with everything that had happened, and their way to attempt to find it again was to take control and quote unquote guide me into the afterlife. Not my thing, though, and I explained that I am not them but their daughter who wanted to live her last weeks in peace, not the turmoil they were putting me through. And while a lot of people stated that funerals are for the living, true, I firmly believe that a funeral is for the living to remember that person as who they were, not what anyone else wanted them to be. My parents seemed to understand when I told them that. They were not on board with the party favor aspect, though, which is kind of a bummer. But I'm pretty lucky to have planned my own funeral, honestly. But now that that is all said and done, thank you guys. I was blown away by the responses. I was moved to tears, and I wish I had the chance to meet every single one of you. You all be good now, alright? Take it one day at a time and enjoy yourself. You only get one life, unless you're someone who has survived death. You're just a hero and probably a cat with a few lives to spare. I love you all. I'm resting easy now. This disease stinks, and I'm happy to be rid of it. And laugh, love, cry, and be sad. Stuff happens. I've got to go now. I'm going to go snuggle with my husband and my cats. Keep it real, Reddit. I love you all.
Dang, Marlon, come on.
No,
I'm not gonna cry. I will not.
that was beautiful. I am gonna cry. That was beautiful. What a loving. But some of her last thoughts would go to people that she didn't know beyond a few hours, of her life. That those words would continue and go on and on. That is the internet. And she chose loving words. And the story of, we just, we need to talk, say when something is wrong, figure it out. Yeah, a lot of times it's all grief. And yeah, I did feel for the parents. It was hard to come up with words that quickly. Um, during the first part of the story, but I want to say thank you. Holy cow, that was beautiful.
Um, Sometimes we deal with so many bad stories, Sometimes you just need to go ahead and just say the quiet part out loud. That we deal with so many bad stories on here that sometimes I want to throw in a heartfelt story. Like, here's the deal. Do what you want to do as long as it don't affect others in a negative way. Now, how they think about what you're doing is not my idea of a negative way. I mean, something that truly changes their way of life. You only have one life, folks. You only have one. Do you be as straight as you want to be as gay as you want to be as married as you want to be as single as you want to be, have 20 kids or have no kids. Work yourself so you can have enough money to retire, or work at a job that you really truly enjoy and with the money, as long as you're able to take care of yourself. You are responsible for making you happy. That's it. Sobering thing to say, but it's true. You are responsible for your happiness, not your parents, not your significant other, not even your pet. You are responsible for your happiness. If you have to add something to it, you have to have kids. Kids bring so much joy. I need to look at you and realize, well, why are you not happy now? But the funny thing about it is, I don't want to go that route. I don't want to go that way. My way of thinking was, it is so cool. I always found it so cool when people go out on their terms. And that's what this lady did. She went out on her term, not the funeral, but it was, wow, crazy that I'm talking from the grave, huh? Well, y'all take care. Be easy. And it's like, that is so effing cool.
Yeah.
This woman is going through something and she's still dropping wisdom after she long gone. And we know the internet. This is gonna last forever, and she's still dropping wisdom. This is the definition of legacy. And when I say legacy, and people always want to think Camelot, the Kennedys, no. I'm talking about, what did you do that people are going to remember you by? What legacy? Even if it's your family who remember you, what did you leave for your family to remember you by? There was something that's morbid, I should say, but it brings me so much joy that it's to see my grandsons raising their sons and raising their grandchildren. And one day it comes up, long after I'm gone, and they look at their kids with their finger out and go, there's one thing that my G-Pa always told me. Blah, blah, blah. That's my legacy. You remember something I said that you raising your child on. My legacy ain't got to be in a newspaper and on television and newsreels and in history books. These videos that we make are our legacies. Our children and our grandchildren, our nieces and our nephews can look back on this long after I'm gone, and they know what our thought process is, what we was thinking, on this significant thing, because the stuff that we're going through right now is going into history books.
Yeah.
So how did my Aunt Anna, how did my Aunt Tracy, how did my G-Pa Marlin and Uncle Marlin and everything, what was their thought process when these things was in the history books? They was living through it. What was they thinking? Oh, wow. I didn't even know they was like that. But that's profound. That's really interesting. Don't have to be big, folks. It just have to be remembered.